What's going on, everybody? SciFighter here, and we are joined by my brother today, Jeremy Wilson, over at Sergeant Splatter Arts. Jeremy, what are we watching today?
Well, we're taking a look at a Dragon Horde Wave 1 Championship, which are kind of a new thing in version 2.0 for X-Wing. And so the Wave Championships are great tournaments where somebody will be crowned based on how many points they've accrued throughout that particular wave's tournaments. And so we're excited. We're going to get a chance to see round two of that today. Now, this was pre-recorded on March 9th, and so we're going through this after the fact. But we want to give a special shout out to Bob A. Fett. If you've seen him on the posts and on the forums, he's out there and always runs a great tournament. So he's got a Poe Dameron Classic coming up, which I'm hoping to go to in April, along with many other things. So if you ever get a chance and you're over by the Silverdale area in Washington State, that is a great place to go. So definitely excited about that. We are looking at the lists here on the sides, and so we've kind of gone with that. The list on the left, we think there's some more on the slaver, and so as the match unfolds, we might see some of those extra little toys that might be on the Trandoshan slaver pop out for Sammy Sherman's list. But Jeff, do you want to take one of the lists and talk through it?
Sure. I'll go over to the Rebel side as you're more of the scum expert between us. Not that my filthy Imperial hands want to get with these Rebels, but we got two Arc 170s and a K-Wing. First up, we got Garvin Drace. He's running Trick Shot, Magva Yarrow, and R3 Astromech, coming in at 64 points. Shara Bay, also in the Arc, coming in with Trick Shot as well, the R3 Astromech, but Lando Calrissian crew, that's going to be 60 points there. And a Sedge uh, Tekutu, I'm just going to guess that I've got that right. And that's running Perceptive Copilot, Proximity Mines, Barrage Rockets, Skilled Bombardier, Proton Bombs, and Munitions Failsafe. So everybody kind of not necessarily fully decked out, but getting there. Got no bid, so it's a 200-point list, and it's just here to get its devices and missiles and locks and focuses all up in your face. So it's going to be pretty aggressive.
Yeah, I like the style that Kyle is going for. I've played Kyle before, a great opponent, a really good player, and there's a lot of beef there, a lot of stuff to get through, followed by really strong shots. And like you said, the modification piece I think is huge. The fact that you can hold two locks and continue to get multiple focuses, whether it's for offense or
Mm-hmm.
defense, in the same round. I mean, I think there's some really interesting things that we're going to see from that. Should be pretty strong. So,
Yeah, and as Sedge,
yeah.
being able to share those focuses as well just gives you so much diversity with what you can modify your stuff with.
hmm Yeah, yeah, definitely. On the scum side, my scummy self loves this list because I love flying quads, quadrajet, quad gun runners, excuse me. I love running those things. And so the fact that there's two of them is pretty strong because you can tractor most things. He'll be able to tractor this list pretty easily and be able to move ships around, especially with two of them if he's able to get both of those arcs in range one. And so he's got the quad jumpers are both the same. He's got pattern analyzer, perceptive copilot, seismic charges, dead man switch, and shield upgrade on both of them. Now, the really positive thing about having pattern analyzer on these two ships is that that dial is ridiculous. I love it's my second favorite dial I think in the game right now. The fact that you can back up multiple directions and also like be able to there's so many different ways that you can fly this, and there are reds, and so the pattern analyzer is going to give you a chance to tractor or a chance to focus while you do a red maneuver. So I think the way he's going for that's great. And of course, seismic charges, if he wants to take off an obstacle off the board, you can do that and get some auto damage. And Dead Man Switch blowing stuff up too. I mean, shield upgrade, I kind of like this idea. You know, if there's an early crit that comes through, I mean, shield upgrade could definitely help push that away. And then he's got, with those two quad jumpers, he's got a Trandoshan Slaver as well. So, and now we're not sure exactly if it's a Slaver that's decked out or if maybe it's Bosk. It could be Bosk as well. We know it has a tractor beam, so it's just going to be tractor tokens everywhere. And so it'll be interesting to see how Kyle flies around this and how Sammy tries to take away some of that to be able to put ships on rocks or be able to face their arcs in weird ways. That should be pretty cool. What do you think about that list there?
I mean, there's got to be a little bit more to it. I'm doubting there's a 30-point bid, so there's definitely more to this Trandoshan Slaver than meets the eye. It could be a higher pilot, but it could also have a bunch of good scum crew, good scum gunners. There's a lot of good scum options for upgrades. And he's got it marked down on the board as 87 points, which is 29 above what it's marked as. So it's gonna have some tricks up its sleeve. We just won't know until it happens. So it'll be interesting to see. I do see that with the seismic charges, it's going to be trying to get nice clear lanes, a big, nice, clean area to fight in. Not the most maneuverable ships. You've tried to fly these YVs before, and
I love them. They're great.
They're great until they need to turn around.
Yeah, until you get something behind it.
So I mean,
I remember losing a match. I had a Slaver, and it was a Slaver versus one Z95. And once that Z95 was behind, I could not turn. I tried everything. I even let it bump in. Just no way to get that arc swung back around. So, yeah, you definitely don't want this to be a 1v1 against an agile ship, that's for sure.
Yeah, so it's tough to turn those around, so you need a nice wide clear area, so those Jakku gun runners gonna probably clear out a corner. I'm thinking from his starting edge, it probably either the top left of our screen or the bottom left of the screen is the prime candidates. They're close, and it'll give you the maximum board edge. I feel the rocks on the right side are a little close to that player side, so you probably want to clear the left. So that's what I'm thinking
about this setup. You got 3 lanes. Well, I mean 4 lanes really. 2 down the sides and then 2 down the middle. You know, how are both these players approaching? We didn't get to see them lay down the rocks, but based on that setup,
it looks like they're both going about the same thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So it looks like they're both either gonna be trying to go for a straight joust, and then I'm assuming those gun runners are gonna start blowing through the rocks. If you time that appropriately as the rebels are passing you, you should be able to get some damage in there as well as clearing the obstacles, and then swing around to go fight back on that side and just stay there for the rest of the game. There's no reason to go back over to the right side of the edge for the scum player. For the rebel player, I think you just go in, try to get a bit of an angle just so you can get away from those seismic blasts. You don't have a whole lot of repositioning except the K-wing that can slam. So you're trying to get in at an angle so you can get out clean and hit as hard as you can with all those target locks and focuses rolling around. So
one nice feature that you have with Kyle's list could be just trying to literally get behind them as fast as possible. You know, maybe even there's a joust and then they just fly right past because you got 2 back arcs with the and then with the K-wing you can even rotate your arc. So that could help things out a lot with, you know, some less maneuverable ships that could turn around. I mean, the gun runners do have a sloop. I think it's like a 2 sloop or something like that. But the Slaver, it's going to take him a couple turns to turn that bad boy. So, yeah, let's get it rolling. Let's finish this setup here, this round 0 setup. We're going to see ships go on the board now.
All right, ready to start. We're going to go ahead and click play here in 3, 2, 1. Let's do it.
Okay.
Alright, so we got a quadrojet dropping down for Sammy. Hitting one of those lanes like we were talking about. The next going down in the same lane.
Yep, makes sense.
And then I assume that that Trandoshan's going to go down the other one. He's big enough that he can't fly with them. So unless you put him at some kind of awkward angle where he can turn behind them after they get moving a bit, he's going to need his own lane, and there he goes. And then we'll see what the rebels respond with.
Yeah, we got the quads down, and I like having them together because, I mean, they can do so much more work that way. You know, the fact that they can move multiple things or converge on one. If you get that bullseye arc, oh man, that's really good with the tractor beam. You're throwing two tractors on, because we've got, I believe all these are medium base. Is that correct for Kyle's?
Yes, the arcs and the K-Wing have all been moved over from first edition to the medium base of second edition. So they're a little bit awkward to fly. I've flown a few medium bases now, and I'm still getting the hang of it. That 1.5 base length is just adds some differences to trying to manage your ranges and come in at a clean vector.
The big piece here is the fact that the quad jumpers are going to need to get that bullseye arc if they want to tractor two different things. Otherwise, they're only going to throw one tractor beam, which is still going to help.
I mean, if they can both get in there at the same time on the same target, you can get them. But otherwise, and that's worth noting is, as the Rebel player, you got to make sure you stay out of those areas that bullseye beam of range 1 going to give you the 2 tractor tokens from one gunrunner. Could have 2 ships tractored on the same round if you're not careful. And the only repositioning you have other than the K-Wing slam is the arcs can barrel roll, but that's red, and then you're not getting all those nice modifications that you'd otherwise be wanting.
Yeah, we got dials down. We got the shake of the hands.
All right.
Here we go. All right, first quad jumper. Looks like two or three straight there.
Seemed to be 2 or 3. Couldn't quite tell. His hand was perfectly in the way. It looks like a 3 to me.
Yeah, it looks like 3.
So going in pretty quick, actually, with those
quads.
Look
at those Perceptive Copilot, man, on both lists, I believe, right?
Oh, so yeah, those double focus.
We get focus tokens everywhere. I like it. It's really cool. And this is the team part about the game, right? You're always borrowing stuff from the other player. I love that part about this game.
I had to do that. I forgot my range rulers at a tournament, and everybody was very helpful with, trying to make sure that the game could get played.
Always better to be able to play the game than to win on a default.
So what do you think about this K-Wing positioning? It's kind of offset at an angle. Is it going to try to go on its own over to this YV?
Well, it depends if he slow rolls here, right? He leaves himself some options. So Kyle's leaving himself some options here. But let's see if he goes hard or if he slow rolls. Okay, so he's bending it in. All right. I think he still has an out here. He could break off to the left next turn if he wants to go after that slaver. I'm guessing he's probably wanting to try and get these arcs just screaming down the board. Maybe be able to try to get behind and flank these quad jumpers here.
Problem is, you go too fast, those quad jumpers are already going to be in a position to start blowing up some rocks after this next round of movement.
Yeah, that's true.
They can't do it this round, as bombs now drop in the system phase, but they are going to be primed and ready to go as those arcs come in.
And it could be, I mean, now that he's seeing the direction he's going, he could slow roll this next round and stay, clear of those rocks. He's leaving himself some good. Oh, there's the Lando.
That's for one evade.
Yep. That's a powerful crew. And you were talking. Could you talk a little bit about Lando, like you did before the cast here? Because that's a powerful card.
Lando, I've liked even in first edition. Granted, there are times you would blank out, but in second edition, it's no longer an issue. So the only downside of Lando is maybe you only end up with an evade, and you want to to have a focus, but you're going to get something. So you roll 2 green dice, and whatever you roll is the tokens you get, and if you don't happen to roll anything, if you get double blanks, your opponent gets to pick a green token for you, either a focus or an evade. So you're going to get something. If you have juke, your opponent's probably not going to give you an evade. But if you're not taking any shots, but you're going to be doing some damage, you're probably not going to get a focus. But you're going to get something, and usually it'll be something that you can try to use to your advantage.
And another a powerful rebel crew card that's only 2 points. I mean, I feel like if you can fit Lando in your rebel list, you probably need to really think about doing that. It's a strong card. Between that and Leia.
Yeah, I was about to mention, like, I think Leia's the hotness right now. Everybody wants Leia in their squad, and for good reason.
Yeah.
I think she was worth it at the 8 points. I think a lot of people should have capitalized on that after realizing that from the that tournament they had right at the start of 2.0.
Yeah, because they dropped it to 0 during that system. I think it was a system open, and that made things real interesting there. So.
All right, so those quad jets coming in, they're both going to be able to drop those seismics next round and blow both of those rocks if they want to.
Yep.
So those arcs need to either.
You got a nice clean 2 hard with the slaver here. It's got to be a 2 hard coming up. Yep.
And there it is.
Or is that a 3?
That's a 3.
That's a 3. Okay. Oh, the 2 hard is red. That's right. Been flying too many U-wings lately. The slaver, or the YB666 has a 3, which is white, but the 2 is red, the hard 2, which has got me in trouble. Has got me in trouble in the past.
So he just laid down 2 focus tokens. I'm wondering he must have Perceptive Copilot on there. I mean, everybody else has it. All the cool kids are doing it.
Yeah, all the cool kids got it. Yeah, so I think we got Perceptive on all 3 of those ships. This is going to be a powerful alpha attack here.
Ooh, and that K-Wing's not in a great spot. He's going to be, not necessarily kill box, but he's going to probably take some damage.
It depends on what his primary target is, and depends on what these arcs do next.
Do you slam away from this?
Well, I mean, you got a 2 hard you could do. You're still going to take the shots, though.
If you can get behind that rock, you'll get an extra green die.
True. You might be out of arc of the farthest quad jumper. He's
taking that focus.
So that'll help him a little bit on defense. It's only 1 dice, I believe, with these guys.
I believe that is correct. I'm going to double check that. Yes.
So the arc should be 2 dice. No, 1 dice.
Yeah, he's got some soft ships, and he's here to deal the damage from his upgrades.
The only ship in here is the quadrumper that has 2 dice, 2 greens. All right, so we should be getting. We're gonna get a nice set of shots here from both players. Here's our final arc.
You know, I almost would have liked to see that slam, actually, with that 2-turn that you were talking about, because remember, he's got proton bombs on board and proximity mines.
They follow.
He could have dropped that the next round, and you're probably taking a crit on something.
Yeah, or drop a mine.
A mine, but I mean, if he wants to chase it, then I mean, technically, you could get 3 crits out there, 1 on each scum ship.
All right, so we're gonna get some shots here. I like the positioning of the arcs.
I like it for this round. Next round, he's got to think about those seismics, not forget about them.
Yeah,
that
is gonna hit.
In first edition, I forgot about bombs a lot. It always punished me.
I like where they are in the system phase, though, now. Or I mean, not the system phase, but
yeah, they're in the system.
Yeah. I like that we don't have post-bomb.
Okay, so we saw some locks thrown out by these arcs. Multiple locks out. Looks like when he was taking his locked action, he can get all shots on that middle ship, the quad jumper, sitting in the middle of the scum formation. I don't know if the K-Wing can get the first quad jumper towards the north side of the map there.
Yeah, well, we got to look at some of the cards there on the screen.
A little too quick, a little too washed out. Couldn't quite make anything.
That's right.
There were some charge tokens.
Yep.
I know that much. But that could have been a Gunrunner's card as well.
Okay, here's
we
the
have
first
some attacks.
dice here.
And
Thank you for moving those, Kyle.
yeah, I got somebody at the door. If you could take over for a second, Jerem.
Yep, at least 2 hits there. He's got a focus to spend, so he's going to spend it to avoid 2 of those shots. And it looks like he's taking a shield, so it must have been 3 hits on that first red roll. All right, next shot coming in. Should be the other arc. All right, second shot. We got 2 hits there, and looks like a focus. So 2 hits and a focus. Is he going to spend?
I mean, you've got enough focus tokens to go around.
He's adding, and now he's spending. So he used the ability. Was that Charabe's ability there?
Yeah, spend a lot to add one.
So he's doing 4 hits here.
It's the old Nora ability, I believe.
He took off a shield of one of the quad jumpers there.
Mm-hmm.
In that last round while you're stepped out. We got cards coming. Got some damage cards coming now. If he clears one of these quad jumpers off the board, that's going to be...
It got marked down to 1 health left on that Gunrunner.
Okay. See if the Warden has a shot or not on that.
Looks like they're both doing a little shuffling.
Yep. Here we go.
If the Warden can take that one down, that's going to be a big problem.
Mm-hmm. I like those cards, by the way. Jabba.
No, I've been looking to try to find some kind of Imperial set.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you are the Imperial.
I mean, I'll settle for First Order. It's fine. I may even go to these Separatists coming out soon. I don't know. I actually wasn't too excited about them, and then I saw Dooku and some of those other spoiled cards recently, and I was like, oh, it could be good.
Yep. Yeah, I think those will be strong, so... Alright, and he's got half points, showing half points on something there. 28 points.
28 points for the half of that Jakku Gunrunner.
Oh, okay. Yeah, half of that.
So at the moment, it looks like it's still up and kicking. Doesn't look like Scum has taken that shots yet. Is that correct?
No, we still haven't seen the K-Wing either, so it depends on who had initiative. If the Slaver's going first or second.
Slaver, if it's a Slaver, rather, it's it should be going at initiative 2.
Well, it's definitely going to be a Slaver based on the turn order we've seen so far. Because he's not anywhere close to what Bosk would be.
Lining up that K-Wing. Looks like he can shoot at that top one. It's not good.
Now, if this goes through, and is this going to be a barrage rocket coming? I see 2 dice.
Look like
2 dice attack, so there's a hit.
Oh, 2 dice, yeah.
Maybe 2 hits there. Oh, blinks out. Might spell doom there for that quad jumper.
Looks like it's down. Drawn more damage cards.
More damage.
Not sure what the crit is, but it probably won't matter.
So it doesn't clear until the Slaver shoots, because that's one of the things in 2.0 is that you leave the ships on until that initiative round is over. They're going to take it off. That's all right.
Well, I think you're getting your initiative from the link I sent you, and I didn't upgrade the K-Wing. The K-Wing is a Seji Tech at 2.
Oh, gotcha. Okay,
so it's not a Warden, like I had thrown on there. So it's initiative 3. So it'll clear, and now we'll see what the Scum can do in response. You had some prime candidates to get some double tractor tokens from some bullseye arcs, but now you got to think about what you're gonna do.
Still tractor beams, so there's still you still have a tractor beam on the Slaver, so you can still have an opportunity to move some ships.
Yep, you could move that K-Wing up onto that rock, possibly. So hit, focus, spending one of the focus. Perceptive Copilot. You don't need it for defense on all these 1 agility ships. I think every ship has 1 agility except the gunrunners have 2.
And a rolled and evade, so now we got the second quad jumper,
just 2
shields. 2 dice attack.
2 shields on the Warden. Or
so
on the
Dead Man switch, did that do anything? I'm trying to think
of... the Dead Man switch should give people around it a damage card. Each other ship. So that should have... Yep, it cleared the shield off the second Jakku gunner.
Okay, they must have just remembered that then. Okay. And it looks like a shield off of... We got another shield off of maybe the K-Wing there.
Yeah, it looks like it's out of shields. And so if it gets tractored onto that rock, there's a potential crit coming in.
Yeah, you think you're dropping a seismic here in this next round? I mean, you get I'm thinking, right? That slaver has a nice bump opportunity to hopefully block one of those arcs and then get a shot at that upper arc. Other than that, though, I feel like Kyle's positioning right now sets him up really nicely. But does he fly in hard, where a seismic charge is going to help things? I mean, he could drop a prox mine to maybe limit the escape route of that Trandoshan slaver.
I think I'm thinking the Jakku maybe goes ahead and drops a seismic to try to capitalize on these arcs coming in. Just give it an area where they can't be if they wanted to, like maybe K-turn or something on them, and try to single out that other gunrunner. And then I think you move the Jakku gunrunner up to tractor the K-wing. If you can land it on that rock, chances are then its maneuver will also put it on that rock again. And there's a chance for 2 crits to come through before anybody even shoots. And dropping that 1 lone agility, so now the Trandoshan can try to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, he's set up super well to get a with like a 1 bank or something like that with the quad jumper to get a bullseye on that K-wing. So
that's if he's not in it already. It's hard to tell from the angle, but I mean that little corner might be in it just if you do a straight. The Ward or the K-wing's bottom corner there.
I mean, you definitely. I feel like you want all guns with that. I feel like you don't want to use that tractor beam a whole lot with the scum list on the slaver.
He's backing up.
Oh, interesting. Okay, all right.
Oh no, that's mine. Okay.
Yep, there's the device. So, definitely called that rock getting blown up, which also helps the slaver, right? Any of that debris that's gone is going to help that thing turn around.
And because now instead of being able to clear 4 obstacles, you can only clear 2 of them. What do you think helps the slaver the most? Clearing the middle obstacles, so that way you can kind of snake.
There's a sloop. Interesting move.
Snake around.
Let's say bump that. Say it again. I was thrown off by the sloop.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And the pattern analyzer going to let it do its action as well. I was saying for the obstacles you would prefer to clear, flying that slaver around. The 2 middle seem to make the most sense. You can figure 8 your ship around the board at that point.
Well, I mean, he's got an option right now with that that move he just did to clear that the one above. Because next turn, so that slaver can actually start, turning to the right. He's given himself quite a few outs with that ship.
And some good bump opportunities coming up here as well. He's probably going to be taking that shield damage from the seismic charge, but if it sets up the slaver for a better flight pattern as the game goes on, that's all good. And if he's not going to take any shots, 1 shield's not the end of the world.
And you force your opponent, you're forcing Kyle to kind of fly the way that he wants him to fly there.
Yeah, those arcs are kind of in a pickle. They either go and bump the slaver and then each other, or they fly away toward the other side of the map.
So here comes a bump in here. My guess is it's going to bump that jumper, quad jumper.
He's still sliding forward.
Yep. Must have been able to get past it. So bumps the slaver, so no shots there. Be ready though. I mean,
and the arcs are pointed out the front, so he shouldn't shoot out the side as well.
Think about his next turn with a bomb, right? I mean, he could basically, let's say Sammy blows up that rock that the quad jumper's in front of, in the top right corner of the screen. I mean, he could block that path again with a proximity mine. So there's a lot of options here. Both players giving themselves some outs. Oh, that's right.
A little bumpage that happens.
A little bumpage. Jeff sometimes calls me the bump master. So.
And I don't think you've flown a Ewing in your life. or a punishing one, rather.
No, I've never flown that ship, ever. At least not 3 of them. I can at least say I'd never flown 3 of those. All right, this is some good positioning. This is kind of that thing we talked about at turn 0, right? Being able to get those arcs flying past the list.
I think they're trying to decide exactly where that rock was, and looks like they're.
Looks like he's on it.
As the bump B, sometimes you have to, take, even if you might not have been on that rock. Sometimes you just have to take it, just because, in fairness, you bumped it, and that's kind of how it is.
Yeah.
But when it's so close like that, it's good to be a good sport and
for sure.
roll for it.
And both these players are, so it's awesome. Okay, so we've got good positioning here. I feel like on both players, I think that quad jumper's not going to have a shot on the arc, but it looks like it'll get a shot on the K-wing.
Yeah, it should have a shot on the K-wing and the slaver onto either arc. Both are full health. Which one do you think you take down first, Shara or Garvin?
Well, I mean, which one's hurt, right?
Looks like they're both fine. I guess Shara.
Because that's the K-wing that was injured last. So let me look at those 2 abilities again. I haven't flown these ships. So
Shara has that old Nora ability where you're spinning the lock to add the focus.
Strong.
And then Garvin Drace, just like in the X-wing, after you spend a focus, you can pass a focus.
Man, I think with Lando crew on Shara Bay, I think you got to take her out first. I mean, she's powerful, but it also depends on positioning, right? Which one of these 2 arcs is that?
Looks like Garvin's firing. Okay. Hopefully he got a focus result, because then he can pass a focus maybe to his arc companion that didn't get to take tokens for being on that rock.
Yep, that's a good roll too. Got 3 damage, I see. Let's see what the green dice will show up.
Looks like he went ahead and shot over at the slaver. Shields are gone.
It's in the wall by my bed. Alright, there's a crit.
And looks like blanks on the greens.
Definitely tough when you have all those focuses. It's tough to see those blanks come.
Yeah, the modification only goes so far. If only we had the old auto thrusters back.
No, I would much rather this the variance be a key than just auto hitting, auto evading.
Oh yeah, I mean it does feel bad from time to time. I've had my games where it feels bad, but man, I will say it helps you turn games around when the variance is actually part of the game.
Yeah, look at this roll coming.
2 hits and 2 crits. Is that what I saw there?
Well, the focus, I think, changes it to there.
Yeah, I'm the ending result. And rolled 1 focus.
Coming. 3 shields coming, and the crit. Can't quite tell what it is. It's not in the box, but it'll definitely hang around there until that ship's blown up.
So far they've been updating the UI, so we can see what it is. Like that dead Jakku Gunrunner got a fuel leak. I don't know how it's going to deal with that.
Yeah. I don't know either.
That's
It's just
awful.
space dust. Yeah, it's leaking fuel everywhere.
Yeah.
It's on the windshield of all these ships. Oh
It looks
man.
like a fuel leak for Shara Bay.
Okay.
So she's down to just 5 hull.
Fuel leak is a dangerous piece for sure. When that next crit comes in, just continues to pile on damage. All right, here's the gun runner. Hit and a blink.
It should have been a third die, but I didn't see what it was.
He spent a focus, so it must have been
a hit.
A focus to a hit.
Would have been nice to get that crit and trigger that fuel leak right away.
Mm-hmm. But he's not. I don't think that arc's gonna hit there. So
no, probably not.
He's fighting Asej or whatever his name is. All right, so we got 50 minutes, a little under 50 minutes now.
38 to 56, so it's closing up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, that was. I feel like that was a good scum round there.
Mm-hmm.
So they're, kind of like if a boxing match, right? The first round I think went to Kyle, and the second round went to Sammy. So we'll see what their dials give him this next round.
How do you get the slaver out of here? It's got really no great options. It's bumping no matter where it goes. Do you stop?
Well, actually, that's not bad. It's not bad. It really depends if he's going to take this rock out, right?
Mm-hmm.
If he takes the rock out, a 3 hard is going to be great,
I mean, you're down into your hole now. You're not full health like you were before. Mm-hmm. So it gets a little dangerous to start taking your own damage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I mean that quad jumper can get out of there with the 2 straight. Will clear the stress. He's got a lot of white maneuvers on that jumper.
It'll clear the stress, but you're gonna bump with the 2 straight, which I mean that's fine. It actually keeps your arcs pointed, probably where that K-wing's gonna be, but you do have that arc right behind you. It could be turning in.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you get more
with so many of the quad jumper moves bumping. Do you think we drop a proton bomb in here?
I think you drop a proximity mine here. You're talking about with the K-wing. I would drop the proximity mine just in case he does blow that rock up, because then you have the opportunity to still kind of keep that slaver at bay. You still kind of junk that area up a little bit. I don't think you do a proximity.
Looks like he's doing a 3 or 4 forward.
Mm-hmm. Maybe going. So
he's getting to clear.
Block that right direction or left direction.
Yeah. So the K-wing shouldn't be able to bank left.
Mm-hmm. Maybe a 3 bank.
That bow tie arc, though, it doesn't necessarily need to. It can just fly straight on through and still be shooting.
Yeah. I think that. Here's a slaver.
So
he did drop the seismic.
Did drop the seismic. Looks like he's going to be on the rock. Ooh. So
yeah,
you gotta
he can take the hit, but he still won't suffer the effects of it if it blows up, which it will.
No, he landed on it, so he'll suffer the effect.
Well, but I mean, like he could, if something.
Oh well, I mean, he'll be able to shoot, but I don't think he's gonna have a target.
Have a shot, yeah.
So he does blank the roll for damage.
No
damage action.
Through, though, when it blows up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one. There's no roll that's gonna save you from that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we'll see what these arcs do. Is Asej gonna just fly forward, or is he wanting that left?
I mean, from the eagle eye perspective, I think she should, but looks like she's going to clear anyway.
Is that a 3 bank?
3 bank.
Mm-hmm.
She'll clear anyway, be able to shoot from her rear arc. Jakku Gunrunner's got 5 hull left, so should be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you're threatening that proton bomb for the next round.
Yeah, all depends on what these arcs do, right? You got an arc behind you. You've got Asej who didn't have to move the bow tie turret, and then you have that other arc which could barrel roll, but I don't think. Well, do they have a K turn?
They probably have like a 3 or 4K turn.
Yeah, 4K. So
Mhm.
if it K turns, you could have shots from everybody, but it looks like he's going too hard. So,
No reason to take it too aggressively.
but you could barrel roll here.
Could.
You could barrel roll, which I kind of don't mind because you're not going to take any
As long as
shots.
it keeps the path clear for your other arc, I would say to do so.
Yeah, it would unless it's like a 3 bank maybe. But oh, he's not going to barrel roll.
Not seeing any actions off of it at all, actually.
Oh, maybe clearing that card. I think he turned the card over.
The fuel leak.
He turned the fuel leak over. That's smart.
Yeah, you're not taking really any shots. You're still in a winning position.
All right. I can't quite tell what that token was there.
The one by the arc. Probably a focus. It's already got target locks out.
All right, there goes the seismic. So damage to the slaver here.
It's still got 8 hull to chew through, but it's only got that one defense die to back it up.
All right, so we got the gun runner in a tricky position. However, next turn, if it can withstand some of this, maybe roll some eyeballs here.
I'm seeing a backup next turn if it survives.
This could be a great next turn, but we got a lot of dice coming. So. All right, here's
focus results,
right
but they're changing.
Yep. And was there a 4th dice as well?
Should have been.
Yeah, I think there's 4 hits.
They're still on the table. And they have results on them, so they got to be something.
Yeah. There's one of
3. So 3 damage. I didn't see the other.
I couldn't see that either. Yeah.
Didn't see the other green die. So we'll see how many it goes down to. 1, 2, 3.
Yep. So 3 on the quad. So if it can
2
survive,
left.
then we could see a nice backup here next turn. If it doesn't, I think these ships are going to be just too maneuverable to get, for that slaver to handle.
Yeah.
I think you could still get some decent points, especially since this is round 2. You want to get as many points as you can out of it, so you're never giving up for sure.
Yeah, the only thing that'll be left on the board that the slaver will be more maneuverable then will be a proximity mine if it gets laid down.
Yeah.
It could shake that, but other than that, I think those arcs and the K-wing both just too many things on the dial.
A hit. It looks like he survived, so that's good. Let's see, we got 2 damage cards going on the Sej. That's the only shot he's got. So the slaver probably getting a shot next turn. Depending on where he goes, I see probably a 3 hard, on that. There's another damage there.
I like the backup move, but remember, Sej has those proton bombs.
I think it doesn't have a 2 back.
It has a 2 back, but you're talking the proton goes 1 back from that, and then it's range 1 from the bomb.
And then you're dead. Yeah, that proton bomb will kill it.
I mean, if it's a double damage, but...
Well, here's the other thing. Why, try to get a bump in, right? He dies. All 3 of those ships could be in range 1, and you get a damage on each of them. If you're flying it aggressive with Dead Man Switch, then maybe you don't back up here because of that bomb.
Yeah, maybe. Well, maybe even just go as forward and try to clear it so it bumps you, and now you're ahead of it.
Yeah, if he drops, I don't know. I think you go forward with the quad jumper only because of Dead Man Switch, and you're surviving 1 hull. It just depends if he remembers that there's that proton bomb that he could drop, because I like the backup move. It just, you die with it. So he's reaching for a template here. Let's see which way he goes. Oh, he's dropping the prox mine. Dropping a prox mine. Okay, so dropping it right on him too, and on his other ship.
So he may be dead already.
Yeah, true.
It'll only trigger on the 1 ship. because if multiple ships are overlapping, it gets to choose.
Oh, interesting. That's kind of interesting. That's different than before, I think, right?
No, the mines typically whoever flies over it first gets it, but if it drops, it only triggers on one ship. Same with I believe Connor nets.
Yeah, look how much board space that proximity mine takes up as well.
They're large. They're almost a medium base themselves.
Yeah, I mean they're basically your largest rock, and even then some, I think.
So Gunrunner may be done anyway, and we won't see what it dialed up.
Yeah.
They may be discussing with the judge just how it works with two ships.
Yeah. There's 84 points on the board already, so I think they're calling that one toast. There, or that's half points, I guess. Half points.
Yeah, so they're getting a clarification from the judge. I get over here. So yeah, he takes the one initial damage, automatic, and then you roll 2 more dice to see if you take anything else. It looks like he only took the 1 initial damage, so he's still alive.
He's still alive, alright. Now we see what he dialed in. That was a great bomb drop. I was thinking proton bomb, but dropping that right on it is not bad. Alright, so he does have Perceptive Copilot here, so he can still do his focusing or take a tractor beam. Yep,
sloop in the double focus.
Try and survive again. Maybe get a shot off.
Yeah, I mean, tractor beam barrel rolling that. If you barrel rolled that K-wing, it probably wasn't planning on it, and you might increase your odds of a bump or a flyby, or even if he was going to bank to towards like the bottom edge of the map, maybe even fly onto that rock.
Yeah, I kind of like this one bank here with the slaver. He's probably not going to get any shots, so probably be out. But look at the 3 hard next turn.
Next turn's good, so long as your squad, the rest of your squad, can survive that long. Because I feel the slaver might only have a chance if it's going 1-on-1 against somebody, and even then it's going to be tough.
All right, 2 more focuses.
Double focus. Can't quite see the lines of the arc. It might not have a shot on that quad, but it's hard to say. I would imagine if he thought he was out, though, he would have just moved his arc around.
Okay, here's going in at the slaver. I think he might get a shot here. He might get a shot with that 180.
It's close enough. That's pretty far away. We'll see.
So 1 arc is out of arc. I'll be here all day. Alright, here's the second one. Does he get arc? Or is he in the side too? He's in the side also. Interesting. I don't think he's got a shot either. So it just depends if his Sedge
good
has a
sloop
shot.
move.
Yeah. Wow.
Lando got nothing, so his opponent will get a pick. Evade or focus.
I would say focus.
I mean,
focus. It's a 1 dice.
Yeah,
attack.
you don't want to give him the evade.
Exactly. If you give him the evade, then he's for sure gonna miss. Or for sure gonna miss one of your shots. So at least with the focus, he could blank. All right,
blank,
so we'll
but even if he rolls
Sedge
1 focus result, that ends up being the same thing. So you might as well take the chance instead of giving them the guarantee.
So they're checking arcs with the arcs. Looks like is he out?
We'll see if he rolls dice. Nope, he must be out.
Yep.
So that slaver may not have a shot either.
This would be crazy if Kyle doesn't get a shot with that Sedge there. Oh no, he's rolling dice. All right, so he does get a shot. Hit, focus, turning to a hit. I think these 2 players are selling me on Perceptive Copilot. I'll tell you that much. I mean, I know it's a little expensive, but man,
it's 8.
It is. I feel like it's worth every bit of that 8 points. I mean, how are you feeling after watching all this Perceptive happen?
So it looks like he got that last damage through, blanked out on his dice, and that'll clear out. So now
I guess if you keep rolling blanks, it doesn't matter. But
now
because
this
that,
Trandoshan has to figure out what it's gonna do.
well, he's got a shot, so it's gonna hit that arc there. He's taking a couple more damage cards for something. Oh, from the he's taking it from the Dead Man Switch. So.
Which triggered and at least hit one of those.
It hit two of them.
Two?
Yeah, hit both arcs, yeah. Or actually a Session, one of the arcs. So, because he took a damage for each ship there. Oh, 3 hits. 3 hits coming. I mean, if he could clear one off the board, that would definitely be helpful.
Okay, so 2 evade.
There's Perceptive again, working magic.
And he's still got 1 for his attack. Yeah, it's a strong upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and he got an extra die for either range 3 or obstacle, whichever he forgot.
Yep. So, evaded that damage by the Slaver, so unfortunately couldn't get any extra stuff through there.
Well, Garvin has to
finish off a Sej right now. You gotta.
Well, Sej is a little far away. I think that K-wing kind of flies around until it has a prime opportunity. Come in, get some barrage rockets going.
Yep. We haven't seen that yet.
I think that 3 hard is the most likely candidate here, and then trying to blow up Shara Bay, which is possible. If you get a range 1 shot, it's only got 4 hull left, and backed up by 1 lonely defense die.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, he was rolling a lot there just because of the range, but yeah, you get up close and personal. So the arcs, how are you gonna kind of swarm this Slaver? I mean, you got 1 arc that's not.
Garvin just takes his time, comes up the board, and gets behind him, and will never not be behind him. I mean,
yeah.
There's really no way for the Slaver to shake it. Depending on what upgrades it's got, maybe it has something to.
If there's a slam, you know, some people put that.
I like that.
The slam on there. 1-time use, but man, sometimes that 1-time use is all you need. Just 3 hard, and you can curve back around a little bit. At least make more of a game out of it when you're in trouble.
Actually, I'm looking through the potential elicits, and I don't see that one on here anymore.
Oh yeah, that might be
That might be a 1.0 upgrade that has not made it.
Yeah, I mean, he could have inertial dampeners on there. He's definitely got something.
Yeah, you've already got a stress though, or a 0 stop, and the inertial dampeners spend a shield, at which you don't have any more of.
Yeah, maybe cybernetics. I'm just trying to think of other.
Yeah, other ways for it to try to get out of here, but there's that 3 turn. So I think its way out of here is just to punch its way out.
Just try to blow some stuff up.
Shara needs to go for the block, and then fly behind.
Yeah, I think Shara's gonna get right up in range 1 here. She's not gonna bump. Here's a Sej. You think a slam here? Try and get a better position. Oh,
not if it's on that rock.
Yeah. Yeah, he's rolling. All right,
a crit into double damage will really help turn this game.
Yeah.
Looks like nothing happened. All right.
So if we
3 turn, we need a 3 turn for the Slaver. Okay.
All right. So here's your question, right? You got a range 1 shot on what looks like is probably Shara Bay.
I believe it is.
I can't tell.
Yeah, I can't tell, but I believe it is just the way the damage cards have been rolling and trying to keep track of everything.
So Garvin comes in. So you got a shot, your pick, on every ship.
Ooh, yeah.
Which one you go for? You go for that far shot on the on your damaged guy if it is in range 1.
You go for Shara, whichever one Shara is. I think you go for.
Okay.
You need to take stuff off the board. Yeah. That is going to be key. 1, you're getting red dice removed. That's going to be trying to come after you, and you just can't let that stand.
Okay, Kyle's checking arc there.
Looks like the farther one is out of arc.
The K, yeah. The K-wing's 3.
No, the farther arc.
Okay.
Does not
Here's a
have
range 1
firing
shot.
arc.
Jeez, look at all these dice. Range 1 gets bloody.
Ooh, crit, hit.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, you have 1 green die. Hey, you got a focus result. There you
So
go.
he can spend it. Alright, so get 1.
1 and a crit, though.
Alright, we'll see what the
happens.
crit is.
Weapons failure would be bad.
That would be bad, yep. You want to get as much damage
Panic pilot would be bad.
Getting the stress, yeah. Yeah, without that inspiring recruit.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Miss the inspiring recruit.
So, depending on how this happens, you think you stop on the next turn?
No, because they're going to be...
that.
They're both... Or, well, not both of them
Ooh,
per se.
look at all those dice.
Yeah.
There's
One,
the power.
And a focus here.
Oh my gosh. That's
This is
a lot
where
of damage.
If this was Bosk, I think Shara would be dead.
Yeah. That is a lot of damage coming out. And no token.
Yeah, spent the token on the attack, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Here comes the crit.
So that was on Garvin. So Garvin must be the closer of the arcs.
Yeah.
They're reading through.
I mean,
There goes the health
down. I don't mind that hit. I mean, you get, what is he at, half points maybe now?
Yeah, but if you had thrown that at Shara Bay, she's toast, right?
Well, I mean, you're not. I don't. She's in range 2, so you're not going to get that extra dice.
Is that panic pilot? I can't quite. No, wounded pilot, which I believe is when you perform an action, you roll for a damage or a stress, maybe. I think it's a stress.
Still looking to see. Oh man, more crits. Lots of crits. Okay.
Alright, so... I mean, because it got, what, 3 damage onto Garvin? I mean, it's good. I'm not saying it's not good. And maybe there's some upgrade on there that... Is there an upgrade for Scum that gives it another die at range 1? There were 5 dice on that shot, right?
Yeah, there were 5 dice. I mean, there's trick shot. That's for everybody.
Well, trick shot wouldn't. It's not obstructed. Greedo? No, that doesn't add. Just changes. Which I do like the new Greedo.
Yeah, Greedo is much better than his 1.0 counterpart there. Mono. I'm just trying to find that Dengar, but that's a gunner.
That's a gunner. Which, I mean, it has a gunner. But gunner, Dengar gunner, I believe, is re-rolls on limited ships, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we're still kind of guessing to see what other
upgrades are here.
There. So I feel like you could stop here, of course.
I think
if you're
Garvin
fly past.
I think Garvin flies with a 4K turn and it clears it. So I don't really like the stop.
I think you go two straight should clear Shara.
I think you go after a Sej.
Just try to get one last hurrah in there.
It's the most wounded of it. It's the thing you've got a clear flight path to.
That's the most points. You know, when you're talking about a tournament,
even if you think you're in a losing position, you want to go for the MOV.
Yeah.
That can mean the difference between proceeding and not.
I mean, you can make a cut just by we even saw it at some of the tournaments recently where 1 point, literally 1 point was the difference between a couple ships and their MOV. So you've got to.
It's like a 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's a white. The 3 is a white. I don't think it has a 4.
And the K-wing, I don't.
Oh, it does have a 4. It's a white. Oh, the 3 is a blue. Interesting.
The K-wing's options for slamming are not great to get it away from there because you got that rock right in front of you. So you've got to kind of bank around it and then try to turn, and you might not make it.
Well, you can go too hard, but either way, you're set. You're right in range 1 there.
Mm-hmm.
Just depends if you got all the other arcs, on there. Oh, I like this move. Look at this.
Yep.
Dropping
Dropping the debris
the
cloud.
debris cloud. Whoops, a little bumpage there. That's all right. Dropping the debris cloud, stressing that arc out, maybe stressing the other arc out, so they're going to have less modification. That's a great move.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we didn't know it was on there, but surprise, like,
Yeah,
hey,
so...
I like that a lot.
And how does that resolve now? With, say he did dial in that 4K, which is red, and now you're
You're gonna get
stressed.
another stress.
But you can't dial in a red move if you're
But
stressed.
you didn't know that was going to happen, so I believe you're still fine. You're just going to take double stress.
Okay.
Because that happened after you dialed the move, after that phase is over. But it is kind of a weird situation, right?
Sure.
And the only way he can take damage on that is a crit, so looks like he's safe there.
And can't quite see the
tell if
front
he's-
guide, so
yeah,
it could
exactly.
hit it another
hit again.
time, and then now you're triple stressed.
Now here's a move. I don't know. Does a slam keep you on the board? I think it does.
Slam for just to
Like
get
if you
farther
try to-
away, like a two
yeah.
bank.
No, he's not. He's not going to slam. So, but he's got those focuses.
Looks like it may be an obstructed shot. So you've got the you've got firing arc and you've got the added green.
You're going to get 2 dice with a focus, so that's pretty strong there.
All right, no K turn. That was smart.
So clearing the stress. And I'm sure Kyle, knew about that debris cloud, so he probably had that in the back of his mind there. I mean, great opportunity for it.
Good part for him versus us. He knows what cards are actually at the table.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing, though, about the debris cloud, right? It's not a device, so it takes your action to do it. So the downside here is his slaver's going to have, some dice going, right? But he's not going to get any of the help from a focus right now. He can't use, because he had to spend his action on that debris cloud. So,
but I think it may have been worth it anyway, regardless.
Yeah, I still think it was a great move. And looks like this arc is gonna clear that debris. Just barely. It was close. If he would have hard turned, it would have been on the debris.
Yeah, that was threading the needle there.
But great flying. I mean, look at these arcs and the way they're positioned. I mean, he's got this could be it before the slaver even shoots here.
It's got 7 hull, but not a lot backing it up.
No, there's the Tokuses. There's a Perceptive.
Lando, yeah.
Oh, Lando, yeah. That's Shara. Alright, so which guy is going to take the shot first? Looks like Garvin.
Yeah, I believe Garvin's a 4. I don't think... Shara also a 4? Oh, so they're both 4, okay.
The arcs are 4s and the Sej is a 3.
When there's tokens and shields and stuff, I like to shoot with the less modified guy myself.
Yeah, I do too. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's funny because you got a 50-50, right? You go, oh, okay, do I go with that? And then I roll all focuses, and then...
Usually that's what happens. Whoever has the focus does not roll focuses, and the other guy does.
Yeah, exactly.
So took 1 damage off of that first shot from Garvin, and took an unknown amount of results.
So there's 1.
Adding the focus.
She's adding. Oh, here we go. Some more damage.
Ooh, look at that.
2 crits and 2 hits. Only one
if those are both
dice
and nothing. Yeah, if those are both double damage, that's it.
Yep. Yeah. Or if it's a fuel leak to a double damage. So we'll see what this card says. See if they reach for more hits. Oh, there's one. That's a fuel leak. Still alive. 5 damage. Hopefully that crit's not a weapons malfunction here. Weapons failure. Sej gets his shot too. So
1 hole left.
Probably some obstruction. Probably get an extra dice there.
I'm not sure. Those corners don't necessarily look like they're between it, but it's the angle's a little hard to tell. We'll find out here shortly. From this angle, it does not appear to be, but
It looks like they're. We'll just see how many green dice he rolls here.
he's got the focus, and I see one blank, one
And
crit.
a crit. So the crit could finish it. Needs to get an evade. Focus will not help.
And he's drawn the card.
He's drawing the card. Okay. Oh, maybe it was a loss of agility.
I think he did roll a green, and there's the handshake. Kyle
good
Smith
game.
taking it.
Good game. Nice job, Kyle. So he gets
268.
the 200. They got 68. So a couple half points on those on an arc and a Sej. Couldn't quite finish the job. What kind of things could we think about here with how this match turned out? I mean, a lot of debris was taken away. We had debris that was added.
Yeah, I mean that first round, losing a gunrunner in round one, that's of combat. That's just not good at all. It didn't get a shoot. It didn't get a drop a mine. It didn't get to do anything.
Tractor.
Dead man switch only hurts yourself. Your seismics only hurt yourself. I think they were good. Timings for them, they were good placements and everything, but the way the match was going, when you're hurting yourself from a losing position, it gets nasty. I think that's more of a thing you want to do if you're kind of in the lead and you might need to take some kind of risk to go and close it out if you've got a clear path to victory. When you're behind, though, it gets dangerous. You need to make the fullest advantage if you start self-damaging. It needs to be beneficial. There's no way about it.
Yeah, I think definitely that first round was strong for Kyle. Everything you just said. Quad jumpers are stronger together. Usually you don't see a lot of lists that have one quad jumper. You can do it, but it's not like a key cog in your list. It's like, hey, I got 33 extra points. I'm gonna throw in a quad jumper, right?
Yeah.
Or throw in Unkar. He's a great version of that for only one extra point, right? So he's 33 points and the Gunrunner's 32. But in mass, those tractor beams are super important, and they really can add up, putting your opponent where they don't want to go. We didn't get to see that, and I think really the only reason is because that quad jumper went in the first round. But I thought afterwards, I feel like both players were still positioning well. They were both doing what they needed to continue moving around the board well. I know that he did take Sammy took some of the damage with the slaver, when taking that seismic. But I think that's your best call to try and still hopefully get a shot, still be able to maneuver that slaver around, and it seems like that's kind of his game plan with those seismics was to just keep clearing room for that slaver, and I think it was definitely a good strategy. Just didn't quite work out, and then Kyle, with his positioning, you saw a few kill boxes there, right? You saw all guns on one target, so he continued to just whittle things down or just clear them off the board in a turn, and then leaving the slaver for last is definitely a good idea if you can, right? If it's Bosk, okay, maybe you take that guy definitely off the board right away, but once you get behind it gets to be a little bit messy. So had that slaver survived, probably kills a Sej. But even so, you have half health on Shara Bay, and you got a little over half health on Garvin. I think they can just continue to K-turn as needed, and the rigged cargo chute's already gone. So, I think overall it was a well played game by both players, and they both were doing what they needed to. Just went in Kyle's favor. Great play by both players. So
yeah, Sammy tried to pull out all the stops, all the tricks that he had, and I think it just sometimes it doesn't go your way.
Mm-hmm.
So that was round 2 of the
Mm-hmm.
Dragons Hoard Wave 1 Championship. Big thanks to Bob A. Fett for
Mm-hmm.
his allowing us to use the footage
Yeah.
and cast over it for him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so you can make sure to check him out at Kitsap Star Wars on YouTube. He uploads a lot of Seattle area local tournaments and Friday Night Fight nights, things like that. A lot of videos coming out of there. So big thanks to him for letting us do this.
And by the way, Campaign for Cancer coming up in May. Please make sure that you're signing up for that. Shout out to Ryan Farmer. He had a post just a short while ago about his father and his battle with cancer. And so just a big shout out there. I believe there's a way to donate some just some cards and things. So if you check out the Minox Squadron podcast Facebook page, you can see that post there. And if you're available at all and there's a CAC Campaign Against Cancer tournament around you, please go see it. I'm currently painting. I don't know if you can see this here, but currently painting some ships for it. This is not completed yet, but definitely got a couple base coat colors on. Check out those. There's a lot of great prizes, but the most important thing is all the proceeds, every single cent goes towards finding a cure, fighting this battle against cancer. So make sure you can be a part of that in some way, whether it's like I'm doing, painting ships and donating them, or being able to go to a tournament and support in that way. So yeah. All right. Well, thank you, and thanks for hosting, Jeff, and look forward to our next cast together.
Oh yeah, thanks for joining me as well. It's always fun. I have a good time. We'll get to some more of the Seattle local tournaments provided by Bob A. Fett. We'll also be hitting some Vassal League matches. So plenty of commentary will be coming as we can. So we enjoy it. It's always a good time. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you next time. SciFighter out.
All right.